watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend. Welcome to Live at 4. Have we recovered from the game yet?
The game, the Golden Globes, it was a big weekend for everyone.
It was a very big weekend. Oh, it was a tough one for Packer fans, though. It hurts.
We know some people who are happy about it, though.
Yes.
Bears fans.
We don't want to out him like that, but let's head over to the Weather Center. Actually, you are a proud Bears fan, Jacob, aren't you?
Yes, I won't shy away from it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Now, obviously, when it comes to the Packers, there's no love lost between us, so I'll just put it there. I'll just end it there. As we take a look at the temperatures, we are seeing very mild conditions. Maybe you could thank me for these temperatures, but as we take a look across Dane County, how about 53 in Sauk City, 46 in Madison, a lot of southern Wisconsin easily in the 40s, and just 24 hours ago, we did have temperatures a lot cooler, and even the temperatures yesterday were very January-like. It wasn't like they were below normal. It's just a very mild day. Temperatures up near 20 degrees colder or warmer, than this time yesterday. And we also are seeing plenty of sunshine, but clouds are going to develop during the overnight hours, and that will lead to a small chance of some precipitation, mostly in the form of rain, and the best chance of it will be for areas north of Madison. There is some snow expected in far northern Wisconsin, but our area, as I mentioned, mostly going to see rain, and a lot of the region probably won't even see any precipitation at all. Then as we get towards Tuesday, we'll have kind of a similar day with the sunshine at times, cloudy skies at other times. Temperatures will be mild, but I'll talk more in detail about when we'll see those temperatures fall coming up a bit later.
Thanks, Jacob. In our top stories today, tonight, the Sun Prairie School Board will meet for the first time since a bombshell announcement about the school district. As News 3 Now reported on Friday, the Sun Prairie Police Department announced charges against former Sun Prairie West High School principal Jennifer Ploger. Police recommended the Dane County District Attorney charge Ploger with 2 counts of failing to report child abuse. Police say the district attorney plans to charge her with these offenses.
Those charges stem from 2 different cases, the most notable being that of Robert Gilkey Messigier. Ploger was principal when Gilkey Messigier was the dean of students at Sun Prairie West. He is now charged with 15 child sex crimes. An independent investigation released last week found Ploger was told multiple times about allegations regarding Gilkey Messigier. Ploger's lawyer says she did not violate any mandatory reporting laws.
News 3 Now's Tanisha Shaw will be at tonight's meeting and will bring you those updates. To receive notifications directly to your phone as soon as the news breaks, you can download the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
The city of Fitchburg passed a multi-year plan to improve transit in that community.
News 3 Now's Jalen Banks spoke with the city on what people there can expect. Jalen?
Brady and Susan, at the end of 2025, the city of Fitchburg passed a transit plan looking to improve ridership in the city. That plan is from 2026 to 2030. This is an updated plan. The one prior was from 2022 to 2027. And the city says they saw an increase in ridership after transit routes were redrawn in 2023. For the updated plan, Fitchburg senior project engineer Ross Kaler says more route changes are on the way this August.
Extend both Route 65 and Route B to end at McKee Road, and we're going to extend that north up to McKee Road, and that will also extend south to McKee Road, so you'll be able to transfer between Route B and Route 65.
Also, both Route 65 and 75 will be adding hourly transportation from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and from 6 p.m. to midnight, as well as hourly services on the weekend. There will also be 30-minute service during peak travel times during the week. Tonight at 5, we'll hear more from Kaler on what the city hopes to improve with transit travel for residents.
We will see you at 5. Thank you, Jalen. A suspect in a road rage case from earlier this month is in jail. On January 4th, officers responded to the intersection of East Wash and Ingersoll Street for a man driving erratically and yelling at them. The caller saw him park in the intersection, get out of his car, and punch another driver. Police arrested the man, a 40-year-old from Madison, yesterday. He now faces several charges, including one for the hit and run of an occupied car and disorderly conduct.
Allegiant plans to purchase rival airline Sun Country in a deal worth $1.5 billion. According to a joint news release, the merged company will create a leading leisure-focused airline with affordable, expanded service to more popular vacation destinations. The two airlines will also combine their loyalty rewards program into one. Sun Country currently operates flights from Dane County Regional Airport to Phoenix and Fort Myers. The airlines say customers with existing reservations will not need to make any changes.
Well, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with holiday bills, you might get some help from a very unlikely source, the Internal Revenue Service.
It's tax return time, everyone. Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn is here with your deadlines and what you need to know.
IRS will start accepting tax filings on January 26th, and taxpayers could see a bigger refund this year. That's due to major changes from the 2025 One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Financial firm Piper Sandler says refund checks could jump by an additional $1,000. If you owe or don't need your refund right now, you still have until April 15th to file. You do need to be extra diligent this year. There have been several changes to the tax code, and there's a good chance at least one of them will affect you. Some changes, for example, the 7 federal tax brackets are now permanent. The standard deduction increased with a bonus deduction for adults 65 and older. Child tax credit increased to $2,200, and retirement plan contribution limits for IRAs and 401ks increased as well.
Thank you, Michelle Renee, and you can also watch Michelle Renee right here on News 3 Now. Every Saturday and Sunday, she's anchoring our weekend morning show. And if you have questions about your consumer rights in Wisconsin, now's the chance to get your questions answered. Michelle Renee Quinn will be sitting down with the Department of Consumer Protection for a special Q&A session on weekend mornings.
And whether it's about food safety, scams, or anything related to consumer protection, this is your opportunity to get expert answers straight from the source. You can send in your questions. Just email Michelle Renee at mrquinn@wisctv.com.
That's a great opportunity.
Yeah. You never know where to start, so it helps to have an expert's advice.
Yeah. Coming up next on Live at 4, the fastest growing sport for people of all ages is picking up in Madison.
Josh Sprider takes us to Dill Dinker's indoor pickleball courts in the 608.
Plus, it's warm today, but look at the sun is just setting. The days are getting longer, everybody. How long will this spring-like weather last? Jacob Montesano will join us with a look at the week's forecast and when to expect temperatures to get back to normal when we're back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
We're back, and so is winter-free fishing weekend.
Yeah, how about that? This weekend you can fish in most state waters without purchasing a fishing license, trout stamp, or salmon stamp. However, some spring ponds, lakes, and streams are closed to fishers. Anyone planning to keep fish should take a look at the Department of Natural Resources Safe Eating Guidelines. A link to that information is up on this story on channel3000.com.
Pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports for all ages, and one place in the 608 is ready for you to take their courts.
Josh Sprider checked out Madison's largest indoor pickleball facilities.
We are at Dill Dinker's Pickleball, learning a little bit about their facility. They opened up late last summer, and one of the co-owners is on the other side of the net, Damon Colella. Damon, thanks for having us in.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you.
So what is this place all about?
This is all about family, friends, learning a new sport, staying active during the winter, and having a good time.
You know, you brought this facility to the Madison area because there are so many pickleball lovers, and how has it been so far?
Yeah, it's been great. We've been open since August, so end of summer, and the community has really taken to us. There's a lot of outdoor places to play, but they love that there's a nice indoor facility.
And here we are in January. It's cold outside. People want something to do, and I mean, this space is incredible.
Yeah, it's great. We have really high ceilings, which help, fenced-in courts. And yeah, we have just programming throughout the day, so check the schedule, and there's always something for everybody.
What is your favorite thing about pickleball?
I love just how approachable it is. If you've been like a veteran athlete or if you're brand new, you can pick up pickleball and like get pretty good and meet friends.
And this is an all ages thing, so anybody can come in these doors, and I think that's what makes it pretty special.
Yeah, exactly. We have like a very wide range of players that are either new to pickleball or have been playing for many years, but everyone seems to have a great time.
So it's the new year. Folks are probably looking for something to do. you guys have a couple of different options. You can come in for a day pass or even do memberships.
Yes. Yeah, we have an annual membership that gets you half off on all your open plays, as well as private court reservations, and then discounts on like tournaments that we run, lessons, leagues, things like that.
All right, well, it's kind of hard to multitask when we're out on the court, but any tips and tricks that you have for folks that are maybe trying pickleball for the first time?
Yeah, dinking is when you stand at this kitchen line here, and then you just softly hit it over the net. Looks easier than it is, but if you're good at dinking, you'll be good at pickleball.
You know, this is such a fun sport because it gets you moving. And I think a lot of times folks are looking for stuff to do this time of the year or during the summer. It's something you can do any month.
Yeah, it's a very accessible sport. And now that there's an indoor place in Madison, you can play all year long.
You know, what is your guys' mission moving forward? Obviously, you guys opened up this late last summer. It's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, it really is. Our goal is just to be successful with this facility. My business partner and I are really happy about, we just quit our corporate jobs and are looking to really go all in on pickleball. So,
well, this is a lot of fun.
This is the test. We'll see where it goes.
Yes, yeah. Well, thank you so much for having us in. Getting my workout in here on the clock. If you'd like to learn more about Dill Dinkers Pickleball, you can go to this story up on channel3000.com. On the court with David, I'm Josh Spreiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh. And dare I say, January 12th, you could play pickleball outside today.
You probably could.
But Jacob, it's going to get cold again, huh?
Yeah, we're definitely going to see those cold temperatures return, but you can also play pickleball outside January 13th because tomorrow is going to be very mild as well. Now, unfortunately, Wednesday is going to be kind of that start of the colder air, and that will also bring in a few small chances of snow. Right now, still unclear as to how much we could see, but we definitely have a good chance of snow towards the end of the week. The next several days, though, just some small chances of precipitation, and then by the end of the week, we also will see much colder temperatures. We'll kind of have two drops in temperatures, the first one being Wednesday, and then a further drop in temperatures closer to the weekend. But like I mentioned, tomorrow is going to be very nice as well. A little bit more cloud cover compared to today, maybe some light sprinkles, but otherwise highs in the middle to upper 40s. But we are going to begin seeing those temperatures fall just after tomorrow. Now, I do want to start with the small chance of some rain. We will see it, especially for areas north of Madison tonight, but even those locations north, we'll see very, very light rain, if any. And then we may continue to see some light sprinkles at times Tuesday afternoon. But again, with the temperatures being mild, there's no risk of it freezing over. But that is until we get to Tuesday night, when the temperatures will begin falling. Some of the precipitation chances will become chances of snow, but still looking at very, very light snow, not going to be a big deal. The bigger story Wednesday will be the drop in temperatures, and the big reason for that is we'll have a cold front move through and really shift those winds. So for tomorrow, we'll see some breezy conditions, but they're going to be more out of the west-southwest, which will help warm those temperatures up. Gusts up near 30 miles per hour, but then the gusts could reach up to around 35 miles per hour once we get towards Wednesday morning. And notice the arrows are coming from the north, and that's going to bring in a lot of that cold air from the north across southern Wisconsin. So looking at the wind chill forecast, we're going to go from the 40s tomorrow to wind chills in the single digits Wednesday morning. Now, actual temperatures will be warmer than this, but it's going to be a noticeable change, and those wind chills are going to kind of stay around that level for most of Wednesday and Thursday. Getting better for Friday, where we see a good chance of snow, and then we're going to see even colder temperatures after that snow Friday, where the wind chills will drop back below zero for the weekend, and this is expected to continue into next week. So here's a full look at the 10-day forecast. 40s tomorrow, highs in the upper 20s to low 30s for Wednesday through Friday. Then highs in the teens starting for Saturday and continuing through early next work week. Overnight lows dropping into the single digits, and as you already saw, wind chills are likely to drop below zero. Now, for that Friday snowfall, definitely could see accumulation. Still a little uncertain as to how much, but the chance of snow will certainly be there. But what does look certain will be those drops in temperatures, and I have to use it in plural because we're going to see a drop Tuesday into Wednesday, and then again Friday into Saturday, and the bitter cold air looks like it could return.
Up and down, that's been the story all winter, Jacob. Thank you. And with temperatures so high for January right now, you might wonder whether the trees might start waking up and begin fruit production. Start the process of that. We spoke with a local orchard owner about whether she's concerned.
A couple days here and there throughout the winter. Shouldn't see too much damaging effects, but when you do have more days like 7 to 10, 45, and then you drop back down into the 20s, that can be more damaging to the fruit production and tree.
And as Jacob just said, the warmer weather is not going to stick around.
A little dose of reality
Yes.
for everyone. And coming up on Live at 4, it's a common cause of long-term disability in the U.S., with nearly 800,000 Americans suffering a stroke every year.
But a troubling trend was found in recent research, and we'll tell you why some people are missing out on critical care.
And we bring you a major update about the U.S. Department of Justice's investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell next. In national news, Minnesota and the Twin Cities are suing the federal government to stop its immigration crackdown. This comes as 1,000 Border Patrol officers are going to Minneapolis as protesters continue to clash with ICE after an agent shot and killed a 37-year-old woman in her car last week. The Trump administration has made its opinion known, with multiple members saying the agent was justified and he shot her in self-defense. So far, there's no evidence the woman killed, Renee Nicole Good, hit the agent with her car.
President Trump says he is weighing potential military options against Iran as the government there tries to stop demonstrations.
Days of nationwide protests have led to a violent crackdown. Erica Brown reports from the White House.
Tens of thousands of people continue to take to the streets with daily demonstrations in Iran, chanting death to the dictator and openly calling for an end to the Islamic Republic. An independent human rights group says government forces have killed hundreds of protesters and arrested more than 10,000.
This is an opportunity to liberate that nation.
Iran's exiled crown prince has been calling for Iranians to rise up against the Islamic government and for the U.S. to help free the country.
To help a nation that starves for liberty, that starts to be rejoined with the free world, and to have the same relationship that we had with America before this revolution occurred.
President Trump has threatened military action if Iran continues to kill protesters. And a U.S. official tells CBS News the president has been briefed on options for military strikes inside the country.
We're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
Iran's foreign minister says his country is ready for war if the U.S. takes military action.
What you're hearing publicly from the Iranian regime is quite differently from the messages the administration is receiving privately, and I think the president has an interest in exploring those messages.
A source with knowledge of talks between the two countries confirms to CBS News that Iran's foreign minister has reached out to U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff about a meeting. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And we've just learned President Trump says he will impose 25% tariffs on Iran's trade partners in response to the violent protest crackdown.
There is growing bipartisan pushback after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell revealed that the Justice Department is threatening a criminal indictment against him. It's related to what Powell said to Congress last June about renovations at the Federal Reserve's D.C. headquarters. The Trump administration has criticized the project, estimated at $2.5 billion, as costly and ostentatious. But Powell says this investigation is just a pretext.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski released a statement saying the Trump administration's investigation is nothing more than an attempt at coercion, adding that her fellow Republican Senator Thom Tillis is right in blocking any Federal Reserve nominees until this situation is resolved. The White House denied today that President Trump directed the DOJ to investigate Powell.
Wall Street shook off worries about the president's feud with Powell. The Dow ended the day up 86 points. The Nasdaq is up 63. The S&P 500 is up 11 points.
In health news, a recent study suggests that some stroke patients are missing out on crucial medical care.
Mandy Gaither is talking with the study's lead author about the troubling trend among stroke survivors and who is most affected.
When a stroke strikes, every moment counts.
Once they experience a stroke, there's a 40% chance that that person may have long-term disability.
Dr. Shu-Mei Man with Cleveland Clinic says when a person has an acute stroke, blood clot busting medication can be given within 4.5 hours of the medical event and can allow for a good recovery.
Every minute delay can translate to worse outcomes.
But Mann says some patients aren't getting timely care. She's lead author of this study, which says delayed hospital arrivals are more common for patients who are Asian, Hispanic, and Black when compared to white patients, despite transportation times to the ER being shorter. The researchers say it could be due to language barriers and a lack of culturally tailored community stroke education about signs of stroke, which she says include vision loss, inability to speak, garbled speech, slurred speech, facial droop, weakness in the arm or leg, and unsteady gait.
We strongly recommend people to call 911 and come to the ER as soon as possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, still ahead on Live at 4, with artificial intelligence expanding into all facets of our life, our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn has tips for how to integrate it into your shopping experiences.
And that warm weather, well, might be short-lived. It is January, everyone. Jacob joins us with a look at the first warm forecast when we could see some snow, yes, snow, again when Live at 4 returns.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4, everybody, on this Monday. It's a beautiful afternoon out there, and it's still light at 4:30.
We keep getting all these tastes of spring, and now I'm getting a little impatient.
Yes.
But we're going to get a reality check because it's January after all. So
That's right.
The weather words are enjoy the warmth, and that's a beautiful shot. You can see the Capitol off in the background. But Jacob, we're expecting some colder weather and snow?
Yeah, definitely. And the way this winter has set up, it almost kind of feels like it's coming to an end because we had a snowy and cold November and early December, and then it's been warming up, but it's still the middle of January, and so we still got plenty of winter to go, and we're going to get a reality check with that later in the week. But for now and also tomorrow, we're going to continue to see these mild temperatures, middle 40s right now across Dane County, and that's the case for everybody. Some areas have gotten into the 50s today, and that also may be the case tomorrow. Taking a look at the current radar, not seeing anything. Might see some light precipitation tonight, but otherwise staying pretty dry for the next 24 to 48 hours. Overnight lows not going to drop too much. These overnight lows are warmer than the average high for this time of year. We're only going to drop into the middle 30s, but these lows tonight are also going to be a lot warmer than the highs at the end of the week. So we're going to have one more day of mild temperatures, but Wednesday is when the temperatures will begin to fall, but they're just going to continue to fall throughout the end of the week. So I'll talk more in detail about how cold it could get and also show you the chance of some snowfall coming up a bit later.
Thank you. The search for a person of interest in a high-speed chase that happened over the weekend continues. The Monona Police Department says 28-year-old Chandrell Evans was going 100 miles per hour on the Beltline Saturday morning. Police tried to stop him, but he would not pull over and left the highway. He eventually left the car near an apartment on Bewick Drive. Police say they found a large amount of drugs. Evans has an outstanding warrant, and he's currently serving a sentence. Police say anyone with information about where he is should contact them and you should not try to approach him.
We have new information this week about flu cases in Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services released the rate of hospitalizations for respiratory viruses for the first week ending in 2026. It shows rates of hospitalizations for the flu skyrocketed that week, ending January 3rd. There were 15.5 cases per 100,000 residents. Rates are particularly high for older adults. The rate of cases for people 65 and older, 65.5 per 1,000 residents. The Wisconsin State Patrol is hiring. It's looking for new troopers to serve across the state. Applications are only accepted during the annual recruitment period, which starts today and ends February 15th. All new officers have to be qualified and trained before they can serve. Anyone who wants to apply has to have a 2-year associate degree or a minimum 60 college-level credits prior to starting at the academy. The 73rd recruitment class will be sworn in and receive badges on December 18th, 2026. More information for those interested is available at wsp.wi.gov.
Well, at the state capitol, Republican lawmakers are moving forward with a bill to strengthen protections for Wisconsinites from AI data centers.
Our political reporter Ellie LaLiberte joins us now. So, Ellie, how would this all work?
Well, there's really two parts to this bill. One is to address utility costs and the other environmental protection concerns. Now, the bill would require the Public Service Commission to ensure customers will not see the cost of construction or extension of data centers on their utility bills. It also includes a requirement that water used by data centers for cooling must be maintained in a closed-loop system to recycle it and report annual water use to the Department of Natural Resources. Now, earlier today, Republican lawmakers held a press conference in Beaver Dam. That's where a metadata center is being built.
Like most legislation does in the state legislature, you start to identify issues as you start to hear from constituents. And so a number of legislators, not just the Senator and I in Beaver Dam where this is happening, but other data centers, and then also throughout the state, as people are looking at the media coverage of these data centers coming to Wisconsin, all of us were hearing from our constituents, hey, what about this? What does this mean for water? What does this mean for electricity?
Now, this bill is just beginning to move through the state legislature. It's already been referred to the Committee on State Affairs, but it's not the only regulation on data centers at the state capitol. Democrats also introduced legislation in November that would put labor and energy regulation in place for data centers in Wisconsin.
Ellie, thank you. We'll continue to follow it. Madison Alder is proposing a temporary moratorium on AI data centers in the city of Madison. In a statement, District 3 Alder Derek Field said in part, quote, it's important to acknowledge that there are already a handful of data centers operating within the city. What's new today is the size, scale, and number of data centers we're seeing. We need to take that trend seriously to make sure that we will still follow the city's long-term land use plans.
In consumer news today, Google is expanding its Gemini chatbot.
Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn is sharing more on how it could actually help you shop.
Google is teaming up with big retailers like Walmart, Wayfair, Kroger, and Target to expand the shopping features in its AI chatbot. Soon, shoppers will be able to use Google Gemini to both research and check out items from eligible U.S. retailers. How it works is if a consumer asks what gear to get for a winter ski trip, for example, Gemini will return items from a participating retailer's inventory. In the case of Walmart, customers who link their Walmart and Google accounts will receive recommendations based on their past purchases. Any products bought via the chatbot could get combined with their existing Walmart or Sam's Club online shopping carts. The announcement comes months after OpenAI announced its instant checkout feature. AI-assisted shopping features in Gemini only would be available to U.S. users initially, but Google plans to expand internationally in the coming months. And at the moment, shoppers can only make payments through the cards linked to their Google accounts, but Google is saying they'll soon be able to use PayPal as well.
Thank you, Michelle Renee. And you can watch Michelle Renee right here on News 3 Now. She's up early every Saturday and Sunday anchoring weekend mornings. She's also on our morning show Monday through Friday, too. And if you have questions about your consumer rights in Wisconsin, now is your chance to get those questions answered. Michelle Renee Quinn will be sitting down with someone from the Department of Consumer Protection for a special Q&A session on weekend mornings.
And whether it's about food safety, scams, or anything related to consumer protection, this is your opportunity to get expert answers right from the source. Send in your questions. You can just email Michelle Renee at mrquinn@wisctv.com. In more local news, people around Madison are honoring the life of philanthropist Jerry Frautschi.
We learned of his death late last week at the age of 94, and the impact Frautschi and his wife Pleasant Rowland have had on the city of Madison, it's hard to put into words. News 3 Now's Sarah Carlson is here with a look at Jerry Frautschi's legacy. Sarah?
Susan and Brady, anyone living or who has even visited Madison has probably experienced one of Frautschi's many contributions. Back in 2021, he gave $1 million to the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County for a workforce center for young people. And then over the years, he invested $5.5 million in Madison College, most of it through a scholarship fund. Frautschi also gave more than $37 million to the Wisconsin Historical Society for its Wisconsin History Center project. A former Badger himself, Fauci funded the Lakeshore Nature Preserve Fauci Center, which is scheduled to open on the Lakeshore Nature Preserve sometime this year. And perhaps the most notable contribution to Madison, he and his wife donated $205 million to build the Overture Center, often recognized as the largest contribution to the arts in U.S. history. In 2024, they committed $10 million to the Overture Forever campaign, which the Overture says will help ensure the building can serve generations to come. A statement on the Overture Center's website reads in part, quote, "Together with his wife, President Rowland, Jerry set the gold standard for civic giving, supporting the arts, education, history, and community development with extraordinary depth, humility, and care." Now, there's no word yet on when Fauci will be laid to rest, but we will be sure to keep you updated here on News 3 Now and online at channel3000.com. Susan and Brady.
Sarah, thank you. Still ahead tonight at 4, a recap of the kickoff to awards season. We'll take a look at who won big last night at the Golden Globes in the Hollywood Minute.
Plus, it's warm now, but don't expect it to last long. Jacob shows us when temperatures will plunge in the area in his first warm forecast.
Well, on this Monday afternoon, we couldn't leave without taking a live look one last time this season from Green Bay.
What's the saying? We'll get them next year?
Yes.
It's a bit of a sad sight today. Yeah, no one's partying in the streets today after that game.
But Jacob is happy.
We've been saying that. Bears fans have been saying we'll get them next year for a while, so we have nothing to apologize for.
No,
Sorry, that's
right.
all I'll say. Now, as we take a look at the three things you need to know, we're going to see those 40s again tomorrow, with a few small chances of snowfall for the middle of the week after those temperatures cool down. The cool down will start Wednesday, but then it's going to cool down even further once we get towards the end of the week and next weekend. But first, we're going to have a good day tomorrow once again. It will be a little cloudy, cloudier compared to today, middle to upper 40s though, so temperatures very similar. But let's take a look at all of the precipitation chances from now through the end of the week. We'll see a little small chance of some of that rain tonight. Most of the region should be dry. Best chance of rain will be for areas north of Madison. Maybe some sprinkles during the afternoon tomorrow as well. Then Tuesday night into Wednesday, we'll have a chance of some snow, kind of similar to the rain chance tonight. It's just will be colder, so the chance will be of snow. Not expecting any accumulation. Most of the area will be dry after that light snow ends very early Wednesday. And then most of Thursday should be dry with our next system moving in. And this next system has the potential to produce some more accumulation as it moves into our area, which looks like it will be later Thursday and Friday night. We could see it just kind of stick around a little bit, although it doesn't look like snow will be particularly heavy at any point. The chance of snow will kind of exist throughout all of Friday and into Friday night as well. Maybe even some lingering flurries into Saturday morning. And notice the wind directions will be out of the northwest during this time. And so that's going to continue to cause the temperatures to fall. And looking at the 10-day forecast, or 10-day temperature forecast, I should point out, tomorrow we're going to have highs in the middle 40s, upper 20s to low 30s Wednesday through Friday. So a noticeable drop from Tuesday to Wednesday, and then another noticeable drop from Friday into Saturday. And for the weekend and early next week, those temperatures are going to stay very cold. And as we look at the 10-day forecast, you can see some of these overnight lows are going to drop into the single digits, which will likely lead to wind chills below zero. So even if we don't see a lot of snowfall accumulation Friday, we're still going to see those cold temperatures and potentially have to put an alert day in the forecast for the cold air. But still a bit unclear just how cold those wind chills will be, because obviously here in southern Wisconsin, we're used to these kind of temperatures just because we haven't seen them lately. But this will likely be the coldest air since what we saw middle December. Probably not going to be as cold as it was during those 2 days where the wind chills got near -30, but can't say that's not going to happen. It's still pretty far out, so the extent of how cold it's going to get is still unclear, but it is expected to drop nonetheless. we're going to have 2 drops in the temperatures. One Tuesday to Wednesday, that'll be about 20 degrees, a 20-degree drop compared to the highs, and then Friday to Saturday will be about a 15-degree drop in highs. So the winter January temperatures in Wisconsin, they're coming back. Winter is inevitable, but like I mentioned earlier, the way this winter is set up, you would almost think it's kind of March, because we had cold and snowy November, very cold early December, and then it's warmed up, and so it's kind of like we're getting to the end of winter, but we're kind of just in the middle of it, and so we're going to get a reality check of that by the end
January thaw feels nice. It's nice to have a little bit of a breather, but a lot of people are looking for some more snow, and there's plenty of winter still to come. But it won't be a big storm on Friday, just a little bit of accumulation.
Yeah, right now it doesn't look like it'll be a big storm, but some accumulation certainly is possible. It's hard to say just how long, if that snow kind of lingers across our area, but for now, the cold air looks more certain than the chance of snow.
You knew it would come back.
Never lasts too long, does it?
All right, thank you, Jacob. Well, you can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
In other news, this year's Entertainment Awards season has kicked off with the 83rd Annual Golden Globe Awards.
David Daniel has a look at the evening's highlights.
Adolescence dominated the TV side of the 83rd Golden Globes. The psychological drama won a trio of acting honors and Best Limited Series, Anthology, or Made-for-TV Movie.
Removing hate is our generation's responsibility. It requires thought from the top down. The possibility seems remote right now, but hope is a beautiful thing.
I've been very blessed in my life. I was raised in a family that put a high priority on art and on curiosity and on service.
Noah Wyle won for The Pit, which also took Best TV Drama. Seth Rogen accepted an acting award and Best TV Comedy for The Studio, and Jean Smart won her 3rd Golden Globe for Hacks.
I'm one of the luckiest people in this, not this room, this entire business, and it does not go unappreciated.
Also grateful, Pluribus star Ray Seahorn, Best Female Actor in a TV Drama.
I'm still so grateful that I get to do this for a living, and this is incredible icing on that cake. Thanks.
And Timothée Chalamet, Best Male Actor in a Movie, Musical, or Comedy for Marty Supreme.
Always be grateful for what you have. It's allowed me to leave this ceremony in the past empty-handed, my head held high, grateful just to be here. But I'd be lying if I didn't say those moments didn't make this moment that much sweeter. For my parents, for my partner, I love you. Thank you so much.
One battle after another.
The big film winner was One Battle After Another, with 4 awards, 3 for writer-director Paul Thomas Anderson.
You guys are being so generous with this affection for me and this film, and I'll take it.
Hamnet. And motion picture drama went to Chloe Zhao's Hamnet, whose lead, Jessie Buckley, was also honored.
The most important thing of being an artist is learning to be vulnerable enough to allow ourselves to be seen.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That was a fun show.
I loved it.
Yeah. Still ahead at 4, from local school board meetings to major investigations at the federal level. We've summarized the top stories you need to know headed into our evening newscast.
The afternoon sprint, when News 3 Now Live at 4 is back. It's 4:52. It's time for the afternoon sprint.
Well, tonight the Sun Prairie School Board will meet for the first time since a bombshell announcement about the school district. On Friday, police said the Dane County District Attorney will charge former Sun Prairie West High School principal Jennifer Ploger with 2 counts of failing to report child abuse. 1 count related to the ongoing case of former Dean Robert Gilkey-Messigeyer.
The search for a person of interest in a high-speed chase over the weekend continues. The Monona Police Department says 28-year-old Chandrell Evans was driving 100 miles per hour on U.S. Highway 12 on Saturday. He left the highway and ran away from his car. Police say they found large amounts of drugs.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has released the rate of hospitalizations for respiratory viruses for the week ending January 3rd. It shows rates of hospitalizations for the flu skyrocketed that week. There were 15.5 cases per 100,000 residents. Rates are particularly high for older adults.
The Marquette County Sheriff's Office says a man was found dead in his car Sunday. Someone reported a car located in a field near State Highway 82 and 4th Drive at about 5:45 in the evening. Emergency personnel responded and found the man inside the car. The early investigation shows the man, 89-year-old Robert Hintz of Endeavor, had a medical incident while driving.
Flights out of Madison will not be affected after Allegiant said it will buy Sun Country Airlines. The goal of the $1.5 billion deal will create a leading leisure-focused airline with what's called affordable expanded service to more popular vacation destinations. The two airlines will also combine their loyalty programs into one.
The Department of Justice is investigating Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. It's related to what he said to Congress last June about renovations to the Fed's D.C. headquarters. The Trump administration has criticized the project, but Powell says the threat of criminal charges are punishment for how the Fed is setting interest rates.
And breaking news, a woman is dead after a car hit her on Packers Avenue earlier today. She died at the hospital. The driver remained on the scene. Investigators were still on the scene as of 4:40 today. North and south lanes of Packers Avenue are closed. Well, now to Jacob for a final check of our first warn forecast. Nice day out there today.
Yeah, it's going to be another nice one tomorrow, but that's going to be the extent of the good news because we are going to see those temperatures drop for Wednesday through Friday and then drop again over the weekend with some chances of snow to end the week, especially on Friday.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll be right back.
Coming up tonight at 5, News 3 Now's Tanisha Shaw is live in Sun Prairie ahead of tonight's school board meeting, the first since charges were announced against the former Sun Prairie West High School principal. And a look at the safety concerns many parents should know about as AI chatbots become a larger part of their teenagers' lives. Thanks for watching live at 4 today and spending this time with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts next.